We are on Substack, our first official live. This is very, very, very exciting. So, welcome to everybody that's joining us on the Starting From Zero publication. And I'm here today with this incredible lady who I actually met on Substack.
I
So,
know.
within a space of a week, we have actually done a podcast together. We've been in touch with each other, and we found out that we had lots and lots of things in common. So we were like, we have to continue this conversation, but we want to continue the conversation on Substack because this is where it's at right now. There's so many incredible women and so many friends that are joining us from different platforms, but it doesn't feel like it's a social media platform. It just feels like it's this community house where we can all get together and just have a really, really great chat. So you don't think I want to give you an introduction, Rachel, so then at least you can get a word in and then do all the thing. So I'm going to introduce you to this incredible lady that I have next to me. Her name is Rachel Perry, and she is the founder of Not Done Yet movement. She's the host of the Not Yet Done podcast, and it's a space for midlife women who know that they're not done yet, which is pretty much all of us that's in here right now. And so after co-founding a 7-figure coaching company, Rachel made her first big life pivot, choosing to leave it and build a business of her own. From the other side of that decision, she's kept meeting women who looked successful on paper, but were quietly asking, is this it? So then capable, accomplished, and in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, what's it say there? It says who knew something was more calling them. So through her podcast and the small group container, The Knowing, which I also love as well, and the Not Done Yet collective on Substack, Rachel helps midlife women trust themselves enough to finally move toward the life they actually want. Her work sits in the intersection of identity, lived experience, and the quiet courage it takes to begin again. Like, wow. Wow, Rachel, welcome. Can you actually add that and give us a little bit of context to where that has come from?
Yeah. So, first of all, thank you so much for having me. This is
Welcome.
literally the best. I love that we are such action takers that we're like, we're not done yet. We are not done yet. We're going to be doing lots of things together, and I love it so much. But yeah, I started this Not Done Yet movement just a couple of months ago. I have been, as you shared a little bit, I have been in the online business world for 14 years. And so I've built various businesses. I've coached, I've done all the things, but I just felt like I actually spent most of that time coaching women in network marketing. And I first started, or like MLMs. So I first started, we were teaching them how to build their MLM business, or I was, and then shifted into teaching them how to build something of their own in addition to their MLM. But I just was not feeling lit up about it anymore. And I thought, you know what? I'm 51. It's time for me to really start tapping. And actually at 45 is when I made my first big pivot, leaving the 7-figure partnership. And then it sort of began a sort of journey of figuring out who I am and what I want. And that's when I really just tapped into this, like, I'm not done yet. It was really when I turned 50 that I was like, hold up, like, I am not done yet. And I thought, it's not just me. It's like all women in midlife. We are not done yet, but society teaches us that's like, all right, we're going to shelve you now. Like, you're midlife, you've done your work. Okay. And I'm like, no, this is when we are at our best. Like, no, we have so much to offer and so much that's happening. Like, I don't think so. So that's where it really came from.
Amazing. And so was there something significant that happened, or was it a little whisper, or was it an experience that happened that you just thought, I am not done yet? Or was it a collective of experiences?
I think it was both, honestly. I think it was both. I think it was that I, having left my partnership, my business partnership at 45, I thought, because we built this business really very easily, and I thought, oh, it's going to be fine and easy to build again. Like, it's totally fine. I can do this. And it wasn't. And so there were a lot of stories and limiting beliefs that I had to work through and recognize. And so I worked through that. And then I do think turning 50 was like this sort of moment for me. I thought, oh my gosh, I remember thinking, when do I become irrelevant? Like, have I reached my time? Like, am I tapping out? Like, is this it? And then it was then that I was like, oh no, like, no, like, I don't care if it is, I'm not, I choose not to. So it was kind of like that. And then back in December, one of my coaches said to me, I remember saying, I don't want to teach network marketers anymore. Like, I'm so tired of the network marketing industry. And she said to me, well, what if you just didn't do that anymore? And I was like, what? Like, I can do that?
Isn't it funny? Because many women trust everybody else's opinion before they trust their own. And so it's like there's this permission that's needed.
Yes, I actually just wrote an article on that. Like, the permission has always been ours to give.
Yes.
It always has.
Tell me more about that. Tell me more about this permission.
Yeah. So I'm a pleaser. I always have been. Okay. And I just learned as a child that if everyone was happy, then I was happy too, that I could be at peace or whatever. And so that was just a process, that's just a learned behavior. And then as an adult, I realized when I trusted myself to leave the partnership, and then which resulted then following 5 or 6 years of, I joke around that it was like the wilderness for me, but kind of was. During that time, I started thinking, oh my gosh, I trusted myself and I shouldn't have, because that was like, was that a good move? Was that right? So it was almost like I was teaching myself again that, yeah, you're right, Rach. Like, you actually need to look to other people for permission. And it comes in so many different forms. It comes in, I've been a part of so many masterminds and group coaching programs. And I always find myself thinking, well, they're the coach and they've done this before. I've done this before, but I'll be like, but they know better, right? We always put our trust, or at least I did, put my trust in everybody else, thinking I need to, well, what do you think? Do you think that this is a good idea? Rather than being like, you know what, I feel like this is a good idea and I'm going to go for it. So I think and I think this is something that many of us have learned, right? Maybe it's from childhood, maybe it's not, but we almost decide that everybody else who's more successful than us, whoops, did I disappear because my screen? Okay. It just blacked out. I'm like, what is happening? But I think that we think that everybody else knows better than us. If in our minds, our perception is that they're more successful than we are, or they have nicer things than we do, or they have more money than we do, or whatever it is, that we then lean to other people. And I think that's something that I've just also realized when my coach said that to me. I was like, oh, wait, I do have the power and I can give myself permission and I can trust myself again. Just because it was difficult after leaving that partnership doesn't mean that it was a bad decision, right? It just trusting ourselves doesn't mean everything's going to be easy.
Nope. And it's funny you're saying that, because I've literally just had a conversation about that this morning, and the conversation came because of we both come from an online space. We've had a business that we ran online, and you swim in the same pools for a very long time, and you look left and you look right, and then there's lots of interference, there's lots of opinions, there's lots of you should do this, there's lots of people that talk at you instead of to you, because they want to put their wisdom onto you because that worked for them, but what worked for them isn't actually going to work for you. And I think that and a partnership is a very interesting perspective on all of that as well, because ultimately you're in a marriage, you're there, and that breakup is what you would do in a breakup. You need that distance, you need the fresh haircut, you need to change the hair color, and also blinkers that need to go on. There isn't those interferences that are stopping you from thinking for yourself. And it goes through that period of change where it feels very unfamiliar because everybody else has had their opinions, and you can say yes or no, and then suddenly there's this silence, and it's just quiet, and then it's where the whispers are to trust yourself to be able to do those elements. And also now that's something that I crave, is the silence, to be able to listen to that, to be able to trust, like nobody knows the answer more than what we do.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you can question yourself. So tell me about the not done yet. Where's the movement building behind all of this?
Oh my God. It's so fun because I'm like, you know what? I was on a sort of retreat, I guess, a couple of years ago, and we were writing down all the things that, this is before the Not Done Yet movement. This is when I was still working with MLM people in MLM. And I wrote down like 30 things, just dreams that I wanted. And the first one was, I can't remember if it was in the top 5, was start a movement. And I thought, in my mind, I was like, okay, so in this network marketing MLM industry is where I'm going to start this movement, but I never really attached to anything. And then this year, when I was like, wait, I'm not done yet, it just all happened suddenly for me. And I feel like if more midlife women could recognize and see that they're not invisible, we haven't been shelved, we are just entering the most magical time of our lives. If we could recognize, if everyone recognized, all midlife women, I'm not done yet, imagine the incredible changes and amazingness that would happen in this world. Right? Like that to me is so powerful. And so that's where the Not Done Yet movement really, it's anchored, is like, let's get this across the board. Like, let's tell everyone, let's show everyone, all these midlife women, because truly I do believe that midlife is like a portal into just pure magic. Look, we've walked through a lot of stuff, right? Like we've walked through a lot, good, bad, trauma, whatever. We have so much experience to bring to the table. And why not step into our full purpose now? Like, don't put baby in the corner. Like, no.
And so with that said, what are some of the things that you have had to let go of to be able to get to this stage of knowing that you're not done yet, and it's giving you the intention to take action on that?
Yeah, so good, girl. What a good question. I think it's letting go of fear. Like I have done so many things. I've been so committed. Part of this process, part of this movement is I'm committed to failing in front of people. I'm committed to trying new things so that others can see that we can do it and we fail. We can fail and still be okay. And I have tried many different things in the past 2 months. And some of them have worked, some of them haven't. But I think that that's part of this process, right? So we have to let go of our not pride, but almost like what we care about what others think of us. And I do think that comes with age as well. Like we're like, I just don't care as much. But there still is that underlying, like, what are people going to think? What if I fail? What if this doesn't work? What if it goes on forever? So we have to let go of those and just be like, whatever, I'm just going all in. I'm going all in. And I have a bracelet that someone gave me that I'm wearing, and it says, do it scared. Do it scared.
Yes. And what if that what you feel or deem was a failure was actually just your guide to the right door?
Yes, it's just
do you feel that that's like it's actually getting the right recipe to put the right formula together for the right things. And then when you get to that moment when somebody or that what you deem is success is a success, you think, well, actually that was never the failure, it was just guiding me to the right location. So that's the reason why you need to do it scared, because you need to get the right recipe for the perfect cocktail together, you know.
And really, it's just data. I don't actually see myself as failing when I try things and they don't work. I really don't. I just see it as like, I'm trying something and it's not working. And okay, so that's just data. The only way we're going to get confidence, the only way we're going to know if something works is if we do it, right? And that's the courage piece. Courage comes before confidence.
I just think it is so incredible. And I know we've got some guests that are watching live with us now. And I think if you're watching this and you have something that makes you feel that you're not done yet, like, what is it? And do you have any questions for Rachel as well, or any questions overall of like what is your not done yet? Like, what are you not done yet with? And I think for you personally, what are you not done yet with?
Oh, there is so much that's to come. Like I am okay. We are going to do, my vision, my exciting vision is that I want to do retreats, and I want to do like live experiences, like the not done experience, or the not done yet experience. And that's going to happen. I love to be on stage. There's going to be more stage events. I have such an excitement for bringing midlife women together, such a passion. I'm not done yet. Like, it's going to be even better. Like, there's so much more to come. And so, yes, see, like, I feel like I'm just getting started. That's the beauty of this. Like, we are, and that's something else I say all the time. Like, so many of us are taught, right, by society, like midlife is kind of the end. Like, you're turning 50 or you're turning the late 40s and we're approaching the end, but no, we're not. We're just starting. This is the beginning, which is so thrilling to me, right? It's so thrilling. It's so fun. Yeah, look at this. We're just getting started. Yes.
Yeah. And so Kari's saying, I know I'm not done yet. I'm not influenced nearly enough women to believe in themselves and ignite their inner fire. Yes. As women, we need to choose ourselves and not wait to be chosen.
Oh my gosh.
We just had another conversation like that this morning, of like really actually just being out there and shining your light and actually being visible in whatever and doing the things that you want to do unapologetically. Like, we don't have to apologize for not being done yet. That's not a bad thing. No, it's fuel of where you're going. And I think that is what is exciting about all of this. And I think that the minute that you can start to unbecome all of those things, and we've got Jackie that's here. She did an article in Intentional Living magazine about the big unbecoming, like knowing that there's more to you than being a sister, being a wife, being a mother. And they're all important because they've made you the woman you're becoming, but they're also the starting point of your independence, of you having your moment and shining your light bright out there. So I think the more of us that can get together and have this conversation is
it's so important, because we have had so many roles leading up to this point. Not that our roles have disappeared now, but now there's like, for example, I have 3 kids, and one of them is in college, one of them is going to be a senior, and then the other one is 15, and like they're moving on, right? Like it's getting to the point where they don't need me the way that they needed me before. I had to advocate for them, various learning disabilities. They don't need me like they needed me before. And so for a little while I was like, okay, so now what? Like, who am I? What? And there's so many other roles, right? It's not just being a mom. There are so many other roles as well that we've had for decades, where we're like, wait, that role doesn't necessarily take all of my time anymore. Now what? And that's why I talk about it being a beginning.
And I think that's where a lot of women have the big light bulb moments, when they're in rooms with other women that are having these conversations where somebody else is going through it, and they're like, whoa, wait, what? That means that I do something for me now, and I'm not being selfish for for thinking that. Absolutely not selfish, because I think as we go, we're getting older. There's no doubting about that. But
drooping, in places we don't necessarily want to droop.
Exactly. And they're the conversations of like, the more that you can find your village, and it's never been stronger from my whole story of moving from the UK to the US. I could have very easily just been a very lonely, unhappy person if I didn't actually make that child. It's like, I'm not done yet with my I had that life in the UK. I had a business partnership in the UK. I had a relative amount of success that was there. And just because it started from zero here, it didn't mean to say that it needed to stay at zero. So actually then you find the like-minded women, you see, and then each conversation leads to the next, and it brings so much joy, because you're thinking, I'm not alone. There is more in us, and there's more people like me that want to do more things. And the more that then you can actually collaborate, partner, bring women together in this space, then more people get to do the good stuff, like what we're saying.
Exactly.
So it's very exciting.
And something else along those lines is, I think sometimes and I know that I have felt it, there's shame that we bring to the table, like at this stage of life. It could be shame over decisions that you've made, shame over broken marriages, shame over having debt, shame over not being where you thought you'd be at this stage. But the reality is like, none of that, you don't need to feel any of that shame. And I know personally for me, I've just been recognizing areas that I have shame around that I didn't even recognize. I didn't even know that there was shame around some of these things. Right. But we can bring that to light, share it. And I don't mean like share it. You don't have to share it publicly, but just like acknowledging it, and then being like, wait, other people feel the same way. Wait, other people say, just even as like just how our bodies are changing, or how there's some stuff, right? We're like, in fact, Carrie and I were actually talking about this the other day, just how sometimes you're like, wait, whoa, is this normal? And not just physically, also emotionally, and also, mentally, and recognizing like, oh, wait. So here's what I want to say about that. Like, if you find yourself where you're like, man, I thought I'd be in a different place at this stage of my life. Like, can we just remove that? Because you're where you're meant to be, and all the things that have happened in your life up to this point are all part of, have made you who you are now.
Yes.
Right? And that's how you're going to make more difference. And your purpose is a culmination of what you've walked through. I don't know if that makes sense, but
no, it's fun. Yeah, it does. And also the whole, I know you're saying about the shame word, but I also see the guilt word is significant in all of this. And that just, my mum's sick and she's in hospital back in the UK right now. And it's like, and I'm trying to just juggle that time of like, when do I go and see? I should be there. I feel guilty that it's falling on my sister to take up at the care, but life is here, but you're always going to have guilt, whether it's family, whether it's commitments, whether it's because you're putting yourself first. But I think again, when you share that, and you're in that community setting where you have the right people around you that say, don't feel guilty for focusing on what you need to focus on right now, and they can give you an honest and clear perspective, that in an instant it can remove that shame, it can remove that guilt, because one, you're vocalizing it and sharing it. And also then other people can give a fresh perspective, that because we go into spirals in our mind. We're doing our own stories that are going on there. So actually, if you can put a reality check on it in some point, that will hopefully stop us from, I always say there's always a point where something happens and it stops you from either launching or putting the thing out there or doing something. Whereas actually to just push through that, push through the guilt, push through the shame, push through anything that would normally stop you, because literal magic is at the other side of that.
Have courage. Have courage.
It's beautiful. It's really lovely. And so what can we expect from you on your Substack? What's going to be happening over there, and what types of articles, and what's the vision that you have for bringing that to life?
I just want to create a place where women can come and connect, much like what you're creating, just this beautiful space where I can share things. Like I can be vulnerable. I can be real. I will be sharing my stories, and I share them in hopes that that gives other women in midlife that freedom to also do it, because I'm happy to go first. You know what I mean? Like, I'm happy to lead the way.
Mm.
If that can help other women release all the other things. So I honestly, I have a podcast called Not Done Yet. And a lot of what I talk about on the podcast, I will also be writing in articles, just kind of honing in on more like kind of going deeper, but just the emotional journey, I think, of this, and also of acknowledging that you are not done yet. That's what I want this, I call it the Not Done Yet Collective. I want it to be a place where women can come, midlife women can come and just feel like, okay, like I found my people. So that's what.
Definitely found our people. And I would love just a little bit of a perspective on what it's felt for you starting from zero. And the starting from zero can be here on Substack, or it can be starting business independently as a one woman business.
Yeah.
What does
I
that
love
feel?
that. It's been scary. I'm not going to lie. It's definitely scary. But it's exciting at the same time. And I know, and I've taught this for years, that you can only grow by getting uncomfortable. Like, you've got to step out of your comfort zone in order to grow. And that is scary. It's so scary to get uncomfortable. But when we do that, that's when the magic happens. And even if it's like the smallest step, right? Stepping out. So Substack, I'm literally starting from zero. And when we talked about this, like I did not bring over my list. I'm starting from zero. I started from zero when I left the partnership, believe it or not. Like, I could not bring my list over. So I was starting from zero. I tend to start from zero a lot. And honestly, sometimes I think I prefer it that way because it's like a fresh slate. But it is scary, but it's also thrilling and exciting. And I am happy to, like I said, I will figure things out as I go along. I will go first. I will mess up. I will make mistakes, but I'm okay with that. And I think that feeling that I get it right here, where you're excited, but you're also really scared, like nerve-sighted or whatever people call it. That is what I'm going for. So if you're feeling that, that's where you want to be, right? Because that means big things are happening. You're making changes. So starting from zero is definitely scary, but it's also the most exhilarating thing you can do for yourself and for whatever it is that you're doing, for your family, for yourself, for whatever. I would encourage you to do it for yourself, but I think it's the most exhilarating, amazing thing ever, but also the scariest thing ever.
And so I would also, because I know you're super busy, but I also want to just take this moment to maybe ask for one piece of advice. So if somebody is starting from zero, what would you say to them?
I would say, okay, let's celebrate that. Number one, let's celebrate the fact that you're starting from zero. This is exciting. The second thing I would say is, listen, like, this is you at the beginning of trusting yourself again. Yeah. Or maybe you didn't ever lose trust in yourself, but just know that even if you don't get the results that you want right away, even if it doesn't go as easily as you had hoped that it would, or whatever, you are doing something so much bigger than you can even see. So starting from zero is powerful, and it's exciting, and it's courageous, and you're so brave. Keep going. That's what I would say.
Wow, there's nothing else we can say on that. And I want to keep these sessions short and sweet, but it's just an honor and a privilege that we get to spend this time. We knew the moment we did the podcast that we were going to do this. And I feel like we should also do a little bit of a co-authored article as well.
love that.
on a topic. And if anybody's watching live and you'd be interested in doing your version of not being done yet, and started like a merge of the both of them, from because they're very connected. And maybe whoever's joining us would want to be part of that co-authored article that we do together, because hey, we're all growing here. And I think that's how we grow. I think the best way to do this is not to grow alone. So maybe we give our different perspectives on what that means for us, and we share that in an article, and we actually continue the conversation, and we all support each other. And I'm very grateful that you've joined us live on here, and let's do it. Let's come together and have a conversation. So Circa's in, and then Leslie's in, so we're doing it. It has to happen now. We've put it out there, so
it's now official.
It is. So we will be in touch about that, of maybe answering a question. So we'll get our heads together behind the scenes. But in the meantime, Rachel, thank you for joining us. We had no technical glitches.
No.
There was none of the, can you hear me? Can you do this? It was perfect. So thank you. And this won't be the last that you see of us together. And really hope that if you've been listening to this today, it inspires you in some way to know that you're not done yet. And actually, starting from zero doesn't have to be that scary, because when you find the right people, literally anything is possible, isn't it? So yeah, well, thank you, and thank you for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.